Good evening, it's September 15th, and this is a new section we're going to do for the folks. I'm going to call it the Key Stocks Weekly Review. The Key Stocks Weekly Review. Stocks that we are focused on, stocks that we were involved in for the week, and the major indices. We're going to take it right from the top. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow 30, grinding on up, hitting all-time highs, good volume. Everything looks fine. Big name stocks. The S&P 500, the spiders, gapped down and moved up. But this is a bit of a misnomer. The spiders went ex-dividend today. That's why they dropped down. The spiders actually had a very good day. This was ex-dividend, so that's why it dropped. Don't be concerned with this. Technically, it's in great shape. The NASDAQ comp closed up today above the rising 8-day. Came really close to hitting new highs or maybe touch new highs for the move. It's walking up the 50-day, it's walking up the 20-day, it's walking up the rising 8-day. It looks fine. We just let it work. Now let's get down to some stocks. Amazon. We called this out in the room a couple of times as it was reaching through 986 right here. Bought it, alerted the people, ran all the way up to $1,000 a share and stopped. And it's pulled back. What's it going to do? I don't know the future. It's above the rising 8-day. That's important. But look closely at this chart. I got a great lesson for you. You always look at price action combined with volume action. Amazon went up on a little bit more than average daily volume. Closed at its highs for the day. Yesterday, it gapped down and fell on heavier volume than it went up on. That's not good, but it's still above the 50-day and above the 8-day. You have to give it the benefit of the doubt. Today, it gapped up just a little bit, went up, and fell again. It's a little bit below the 50-day, and it's really close to our cost. On again, heavier volume than it broke out on. That's very concerning. It's concern enough that if it starts to fall here, we'll take it flat, or I'll take mine flat. Why? Because good breakouts don't do that. That's Amazon. We're going to move forward. Boeing. Called this out in the room. Lifted through these spots and went off to the races on a good pickup in volume. Look at this. 3 days in a row of volume. Inside day on low volume. Starts to lift up, pick up in volume. Goes up again, pick up in volume. Goes higher, pick up in volume. That's what you want to see on a breakout. Compare it with the Amazon break. Boeing break. Something to remember. Alibaba lifted off this downward sloping trend line here, up the 8-day, on good volume, and went up. Again, we study price, and we study volume. It went up on good volume. Yesterday, it gapped down, goes up, closes down a little bit on a slight pickup in volume. Today, opens up, goes up a bit, closes at its lows for the day on a pickup in volume. That's not good. But can we sell it? Yes, we could. But it's above the rising 8-day. We're in at a good price. We let it work and see what happens. We don't get emotional. We have rules. But here's what you could always do here. If it's rallying up like this and you're concerned, you could take some off. Don't sell all of it. Why? It hasn't violated the 8 yet. That's a rule. As long as it rides it, you got to stay with some. I don't know what it's going to do, but for right now, I'll let it work. Baidu, same situation. Don't have as much as a cushion in it. And what catches your eye on this? It's above the 8-day. It's above the breakout. But look at this. Today, down on heavy volume. That is a red flag. So now there's 2 Chinese stocks, Baidu, that did that on a pickup in volume. First Solar, exactly what we want to see. Gaps up, lifts off, takes off to the races. Closed off its highs, but still up on a good pickup in volume. This is in the top 5 groups. In fact, it's group number 2, Solar, when we bought this. Looks fine. We'll see what it does. Up on heavy volume, breaking out of a long base. Let it work. Netflix closed down a little bit, but we're in great shape with our cost, and it's trending nicely up the 8-day. What do? We let it work. NVIDIA. I called this out several times today as it was breaking out. Lifted off. Actually, we bought this yesterday. Took off today on an upgrade. Closed at its highs for the day on a big pickup in volume. That's what you want to see. We're in this. I alerted the Mission Winners room site several times. Here again. Looks fine. What do? Let it work. SQ. Called this one out also. Broke out of this little base here. Look at the volume. They voted. Today, you could say, oh boy, it closed down, Pat, on a pickup volume. This is bad. You have to look at the open, you have to look at the close, you have to look at the range, and you have to look at the volume. Closes near its highs on heavy volume yesterday. Gaps down, falls, and closes in the top third of its range on heavy volume. Folks, they didn't sell this. Dropped and they bought it back. Closed up strong. Down just a little bit from the day before. It's fine, and it's walking up the 8-day. Remember, always put your stock action in relation to the open, the close, the range, and the volume for that bar versus previous bars. It'll help you. Tesla, picture perfect. Downward sloping trend line. We bought it here, and we bought it here. Look at the volume pickup that day, right there. Then look at the volume pickup this day. They voted. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. They voted on Tesla, closing at the highs for the day. Where's it going to go? I don't know. Let it work. Let it trend till it stops. TER, I call this out later in the day. What group is it in? It's a semiconductor. Semis were hot today. SMH, NVIDIA, hot today. Closed up on a pickup in volume. I was watching this going through these tops, and I said, I'm going to buy some of this. It looks good, lifting off, and we'll see where it goes. That's the stocks that were in play for the week. These were the ones that we were wrapped up in, and I just wanted to share it with you. Thank you. And this is I'll call it the Hot Stock Weekly Review for September 15th.